The 49ers just lost their regular season finale 21-20 to the Los Angeles Rams. Here are the 49ers grades for this performance. Sam Darnold, C-. He's good at quarterback sneaks, scrambles, and making circus throws on the run. You can tell why he was the number 3 pick in the draft once upon a time. He has talent. He probably looked fantastic at his pro day when he faced no defense. But when he's in the pocket, he's the second coming of Jimmy Garoppolo because he locks onto his first read, and if that guy isn't open, Darnold doesn't know what to do. You can feel the anxiety dripping off him, which means he's a terrible pocket passer and a mediocre athlete. No wonder he's a backup quarterback. And with a 1-point deficit in the fourth quarter and the chance to lead a comeback victory, Darnold fumbled the game away, as he has so many times before. In retrospect, it was silly that the Niners thought they could change Darnold. He is who he is at this point in his career. They can find a better backup for less money. Running backs. B. Christian McCaffrey didn't play, so Elijah Mitchell started and averaged 3.7 yards per carry. Meanwhile, his backup, Jordan Mason, averaged a whopping 6 yards per carry. Mason clearly should be ahead of Mitchell on the depth chart. Wide receivers. C-. Chris Conley and Ray McLeod both played a lot in place of the starters and both dropped key passes downfield from Darnold. The Niners have no depth at wide receiver. Tight ends. D. George Kittle sat out with back spasms, which means Charlie Warner actually got to play, and he caught one pass for 20 yards, which is a big day for him. Offensive linemen. C-. They gave up 3 sacks and paved the way for just 4.3 yards per carry against the Rams' backups. Defensive linemen. B-. They sacked Carson Wentz twice and gave up 109 rushing yards. In the second half, the Rams called lots of quarterback runs for Wentz, who finished the game with 17 carries, and the Niners struggled to stop these plays because they almost always struggle against mobile quarterbacks. Linebackers. B-. Demetrius Flannigan-Fowles had 10 tackles, and Oren Burks had 7 tackles and a sack. The Niners always have a pipeline of quality linebackers, unlike every other team in the NFL. Defensive backs. B. Taylor Hawkins intercepted a tip pass, but also committed a 48-yard pass interference penalty. Special teams. F. Jake Moody missed a 38-yard field goal and an extra point, and now the Niners have to worry about their kicker's confidence as the playoffs begin. Usually the Niners don't have to worry about Moody because they win by double digits, but if they find themselves in a close playoff game, which they probably will, you can bet they'll have doubts in the back of their mind about Moody. Coaches. D. You could argue that the most important task for the Niners coaches in this game was to get Jake Moody into a rhythm before the playoffs, but they didn't do that. Instead, they let him torpedo his own confidence in a meaningless game. In retrospect, maybe the Niners should have found some more opportunities for Moody to kick today, or simply sat him so something terrible wouldn't happen, as it did. Oops. At least none of the Niners' best players got injured.